What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Being Bev. This is your girl Bev here coming to you with another video. And today's topic is communication with the emphasis on listening. Stay tuned. I'm about to bring you some nuggets to help you to learn how to listen better. Listen, I need to talk to you. I need you to hear me through. Can you close your mouth, open your ears, and listen? Yeah, I know. We think we all have it together. We think we know how to communicate. We think we know how to listen. And then we come to find out that we really don't. Well, that's what happened to me. I work in the field of mental health counseling. I've been doing this for over 12 years, actually in the mental health field. And we all know that no matter what field you're in life, communication is so important. And listening is even more important. Listening is a component of communication. That is a variable when it comes to communicating with someone, with building the most necessary and appropriate communication skills when it comes to interacting with other people. And I came to find out that I wasn't a good listener. Why wasn't I? Because I was listening to respond and not listening to take in the information that the person was saying to me. Therefore, when it came down to the very nitty-gritty of it, I was very personalized in the conversation. I was very offensive in the conversations. And I did not get what it was that the person was trying to relay because I was so busy trying to focus on what they were saying so that I can give them some type of response versus just being there to listen. Listening is using the ears to collect information. Using the ears, that's one of the senses to be able to hear. And the Bible tells us that we should be quick to listen. But many of us do not do that. We listen with the intent to be able to share what it is that we want to say. And oftentimes it always ends up with a bad result. It ends up with unnecessary tension. It ends up with unnecessary communication and dialogue that wasn't the actual intent. How can we listen better? Well, first of all, we need to become aware of what it is that the person wants to say. When someone comes to us, we can ask questions. We can ask them from the get-go. Are you communicating with me? Are you coming to me because you want to vent? That way, you're able to give them your undivided attention with no intent on giving them no type of feedback or information. You're just listening. You're a sound body that is there, that is allowing a person to communicate and get some things off their chest. Or you can ask them, do you want me to give you a response? Are you looking for me to give you some type of feedback? And if they say yes, then it's even more important for you to listen, to collect the information and still ask questions. And you can kind of clarify, am I hearing you correctly? Is this what you're saying? You can kind of summarize what it is that they're trying to say. So when it comes down to you giving them the response and the feedback that they need, you've heard them appropriately and you do not have yourself in it. When people talk to us, we have to remember something. Remove yourself from it. Even though you're there, remove your feelings. Remove yourself from being so personal and caught up in what it is that they're saying, but be personal enough where you're able to hear them and to listen to them and what they're saying. Okay? That's very, very important. And I wasn't doing that. Because I had so many other issues going inside of me. Every time somebody spoke to me, I was taking on their issue as if it was mine because I probably was going through some similar things to what they was talking about. So therefore, I was adding my 2 cents that they didn't need. They didn't need my situation in theirs. Now, oftentimes we can give people a response based on going through a similar situation. But we need to be able to collect all of the data that they have, all of the information. That way we can give them information that it pertains to them and not us. That way we can remove all of the personalization in it. We can remove all of the offense and not be so easily offended every time someone comes to us. We can become offended with something that have nothing to do with us because we're just have so much going on, internalizing so many things within ourselves. We're listening to hear, not to respond. And even when we do respond, we're listening to collect all of the information, asking questions. That way we can be clear and have the clarity that we need. And once someone finished talking, we can take that moment there to reflect on what it is that they said. That way you can give them the best sound advice that they need. But it is so important in these times that everyone has someone that they can go to and talk to where they're able to listen. They're able to listen and remove themselves from the situation to the point where they're able to hear what you're saying. And they're not disturbed and they're not bothered with their own internal issues that's going on. They can give you their undivided attention, because sometimes once we get some things off our chest and we get that those suppressed feelings that's down on the inside out, we feel better. We actually can give ourselves our own advice as we're talking without being interrupted or disrupted with people trying to tell us what we need to do. So when we listen to other people, we're actually helping them to come up with their own solutions to their problems or to the areas of their concern. Listen. Why don't you just listen? Listening is so important. I'm telling you, it's so important. And I'm learning that. This is why I'm doing this video today, because I'm learning. Life is always a learning process. We will never stop learning. The day that we stop learning will be the day that we go to the grave. So remain teachable, remain open to learn. And while you're learning, learn how to listen. That way we won't always become so offended when people are talking. We won't always become so personalized and caught up in other people's problems. We're just listening. We're listening to hear. We're listening to give you the opportunity to vent, to get those things off your chest so that you can feel better. Because when people feel better, it helps us to feel better too. I love to see people smile. So when people smile and they're able to, solve some things on their own because they was able to have somebody to listen to them without butting in and cutting in. Hey, just give them a moment to talk. Just let them talk. Let them talk. While they talk, you're listening. You're not giving off bad vibes with your body language and stuff. You're giving them your undivided attention. You're not got your arms all crossed up and looking side-eyed and like you're ready to go, but yet you told them that you had the time to do it. Because we get so used to behavior. We have habits. Our habits, we're so used to butting in and responding that when we actually learn how to sit still and listen to someone, that takes time. It takes practice to do, especially when we're so used to communicating how we feel to other people in the midst of them sharing how they feel. So we're learning today. We're learning how to be good listeners. We're learning how to take time to remove ourselves from other people's communication and dialogue. We're learning to be present in that moment with them and allowing them that opportunity. Because we will get our opportunity to also be the talker when someone else is listening to us. So put yourself in that person's shoes. When you really need to get something off of your chest, and you got somebody that is just butting in, cutting out, you can't even get your point across, you don't have a good memory, you're trying to get that stuff out before you forget what it is that you have to say, and they cutting in every 30 seconds. How does that make you feel? So when we think about those things, it really helps us to be mindful when it comes to our turn for listening. Communication is just not talking. The most important part of communication is being able to listen to what a person is saying. And sometimes what it is that they're not saying. And we can hear what they're not saying by us not saying anything. Being present with the person that is communicating. In the times we're living in now, we need somebody to listen to us. We need somebody that can just be there. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything at all, just be there in that moment. Because there's so much noise going on the outside world. Sometimes it's good to just get quiet and have somebody that you can just, be there for them. It's very therapeutic. It's very, very therapeutic. It is very, very therapeutic to listen, to just be present and to listen. Why don't you try that? The next time that someone comes to you and want to talk, instead of you butting in, instead of you being so anxious to give your advice and your input, just be present. Just listen to them. And then when they open the floor and open the door for you to be able to give that advice to them, You would have collected all of their data. You would have listened and heard their heart. And you're able to give them information and feedback that is not personal, that is not going to be offensive because you personalized it and you've taken it the wrong way. You understand that what it is they're trying to say is something they just need to get off their chest. And they can appreciate you even more for that. Just listen. Someone needs you to listen to them today. And like I said, as James 1:19 says, that we should be quick to listen, slow to speak. So when someone is talking to you, we should be slow to speak. We shouldn't be so quick to want to respond, but be quick to listen. It is biblical, it's scriptural. Look it up for yourself. James 1:19. It says it. I didn't make that up. I got it from the scripture. And when we do that, we're honoring God because we're honoring his word through scripture. I thank you all for listening to me today. It means a whole lot. I pray that you will practice this listening skills. It's one of the most valuable aspects of communication, listening. I thank you. Stay tuned to another video from Being Bev, and it's better late than never. It's no better time than this time to do what it is that God has called you to do. Listen, get quiet, and hear what God is trying to tell you to do so that you can be doing the very next thing that you've called and chosen to do, because it's no time better than this time. I'm just being Bev. See you later. And I love you for life.